What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Script Academy. Welcome you to our next deck profile here on the channel. Today we've got Ryan here, where he took his Traptrix deck onto the 250th YCS, where he got day 2. We're gonna let him jump right on into it.
Thanks. All right, so main deck, or on top here, right?
I'll move these out of the way for you.
Cool. 3 Mermello, best starter in the deck. Pretty self-explanatory. Still on 3 Mantis, adds a monster. Good starter as well. For the event, I played 2 Putica. I know a lot of lists are on 3. I played 3 last time I was featured. I really liked 2 this time around. I didn't feel like this lost really hard to like Imperm and Asher Veiler, so I liked playing 2. 2 Kampa. I was playing 3 before, down to 2 as well. At the Omaha Regional, I bricked a lot on a lot of monsters, so I wanted to play a much smaller count.
So you think cutting those down helps with consistency at all?
It did, yeah. And then, so I have it over here. I played a slightly different list on stream today. I played the 3rd Putica because a lot of the lists, well, I say a lot, but there's only 2 others that made day 2. And they were both on 3 Putica, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and try this again, and I bricked on it again today. So I'm gonna stick with 2, and I think it's the right number.
So toss that 3rd one out of the window.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. And then 2 Dionea. This has been pretty standard across the board. This card's it's really good, but you don't need more than 1, or more than 2. I'm still on Exceed. I know some have moved over to Burgadine, but I still think Exceed is just crazy. The big difference now is that I do always side this out for going second, because it gives me more space in the main deck. So that's it for like the main deck engine monsters. For tech cards, 3 Ash because it's good against branded, good against other stuff as well. For the main event, sorry. For the main event, I did main 3 Nib. I've gone back and forth on this because it was terrible for me at the Omaha Regional. It's been okay at locals. It was okay at South Dakota Regionals, and then so I was gonna cut it and just play something completely different, and then I decided to main it for the event because there was gonna be 3,500 people. I figured some people weren't respecting it as much anymore, so I would still play it. I did open it 3 times, and 2 of them once against Sprite where it was dead, and then I opened 2 of them against Labyrinth where it was very dead, but I still won both those games, which was nice. And then the other time I did resolve it was against Dragon Link, and then I misplayed game 2 to lose anyways. So what I did tonight is I didn't play Nib, and I played Book of Moons instead, but I think I'm not going to play either. I think I'm going to play something different. I'm not quite sure yet what it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be Nib or Book. So
I feel like it goes back and forth where
it does,
people
yeah.
are playing Nib, and then people are playing around it, and then people are thinking, well, people are playing around it, so I don't need to worry about it, and then you'll get hit with the face. So.
Yeah, because like some people don't play around it still. Like in my last on the feature match against Tyler, like he didn't play around Nib at all game 3. So like in that situation, like it's really good. But like at the same time, if he just goes a Rise Heart Pass there as well, which is what I think he probably should have done, then like he probably just wins, and I am stuck with a Nib in hand. So it's really tough. It's also a matter of fact of like what's a better card to put in. So yeah. Last little one here, 3 Imperm. I mean, it's Imperm. It's a good card. So I did still play 3 Pot. I know some are down to 2 or aren't playing this at all. It was really good for me. Digging for side deck cards and like playable engine cards is really good. So I have ran into an issue recently as I get more familiar with the deck of like figuring out what exactly I want to banish, because there are honestly because you have so much utility in the extra deck, it can be hard to banish. So more often I'm finding myself only banishing for 3, just to kind of get like a little bit of consistency. So it'd be nice if there was a better card to play, but right now there's just not. So I'm still in 1 Garden. Both lists that made day 2 aside from mine were on 2 Garden, but I still think 1 is the right ratio. You don't need it to win, so but it is really good. 3 Holtea.
Top 2, like I said, is already underway.
Best card in the deck. Obviously, being able to get an extra monster on board and get your Banishing Grave, it's just very strong. It's huge for your grind game. If this card ever goes to less than 3, this deck is completely dead. So It's very, very good. I also had a cool thing, my round 9, last round of day 1, where I was playing against Sprite, and he Onimabaru banished my Holotea, and he thought that it wouldn't be able to return because since it's seen as a trap when it's banished, it's no longer a monster able to return. And so I said, no, I'm pretty sure it does return because it's a monster on field when you banish it, and we ended up getting a judge called over, and the judge ruled it the same way that Prime was ruled in like BA Monarch format. So when Farfa banishes Prime, it banishes and then Prime goes to grave on resolution because by game mechanics it can't return to the field. So it was ruled that my Holotea goes to grave, which then made that in my Putica live. So it worked out really well for me, but I do think it's the right ruling based off of precedence. So other trap pulls, played 1 Nightmare, 1 Floodgate, 1 Gravedigger, and 1 Terrifying. This card, everybody tells me it's good. Man, I don't like it. I'm gonna keep playing it because like it comes up situationally, and like the nice thing with all of these is that you only really need them situationally. But like this card sometimes just feels so bad. Floodgate, I used to play 2. I'm only on 1 now because I was working on it. Yeah, I think you only need 1. I don't think you need 2. Good for Nib, also good for graveyard effects, and then this card's insane. If I played 2 of any of these, I honestly would play 2 of this over 2 Floodgate. This card's insane. So,
Ryan, you got 3rd.
Thank you. 3 evenly. This card was MVP for me the entire day 1. I won 1 die roll all of day 1, but I opened evenly in 5 of my 8 matches that I lost. So this card was insane game 1. Would not change it. It also has synergy. If you do happen to win the die roll and get lucky, unlike me, you can go ahead and pitch this obviously for Holotea. So, and then last card, 2 Torrential. That's what I played for the event. I didn't play it tonight. I didn't draw this at all in the event, so I honestly can't tell you if it was good or not. Literally all 12 rounds, didn't see it in my hand a single time. So it sounds really, really good in theory, so I'm probably going to continue testing it because I didn't really like the Book of Moons, like I said today. But I didn't see it at the YCS, so I can't really tell you if it's good or not.
Someday, it'll come up.
Someday I will draw Torrential and we'll see if it's good. But that's it for the main deck. Side deck or extra?
I'll go with extra first.
Extra deck, all right. So extra deck, I played 3 Sarah. This is your best card. As long as this stays on the field, you're usually in a winning position. Just the resource advantage every turn is crazy. Getting a +2 every turn is nuts.
So if you want to know how to beat the deck,
get this card off the field.
Get this off.
Just get it off the field and then deal with Holotea and Grave
as soon as
it's going to
possible.
come back again. Adipus, didn't summon this as much at the YCS. I summoned it a lot at locals, but at the YCS, I think players are a little bit more cognitive to like when they need to scoop faster, so I didn't really need a kill button as much, but you definitely should still play it because it's a good card.
YCS, you definitely need to have your eye on the clock, so if you know you're gonna have that writing on the wall of I'm gonna lose, let's go to game 2 real quick instead of having to waste time.
Yeah, and it was nice having 45 minutes as well. Kind of everybody was aware of like we got some extra time to be able to think through plays. So I played 1 Cleria. I told everyone for a while that this card was bad. I still think it is kind of bad, but it is really good against trap decks, being able to loop your Mermellos, to be able to summon off of this for Mermello to get a pop, to get your summon off Sarah to get a pop, and to get your summon off Alamaris to get a pop. Being able just to grind through back rows really crazy, or like field spells. Even against like Cash, like being able to, on your turn, out their birth and their field spell, and just like kind of minimize some of the damage that they're doing for recursion is really strong. So I like it. I banish it a lot with Prosperity, but I think it's good enough. Link Rebo, this was for Ibly. I did get Iblied twice at the event, which is so funny because everyone was telling me that I'm not going to get Iblied. The first Sprite player that did it, this card was really strong. He also had double cross set, so I was able to go Link Rebo and then kind of play through the board. And then when he did, I left this on board for a while. And then when he did double cross, I had the Link Rebo for it. So it was really solid into Sprite. And then the other Sprite matchup, he bricked really bad, normaled Ibly, linked into Almirage, gave me the Ibly, passed, and I went normal, or made the Link Rebo, normal summon Morel, and he scooped. So
if that's all you're doing, then you got really have nothing going on.
Yeah, like we were in a good position in both those games anyways, but the Link Rebo was still really good to get rid of the Ibly. So that's it for links. 2 Rafflesia, cards, insane. It's very good. Protecting everything from battle and from targeting, and then obviously copying a whole effect is really good. 1 Alamaris. I only summoned this 3 times, which was sad because it's so pretty. But every time I summon it, I win because it's a pretty win more card. You generally don't really need the extra special summon from grave to actually like be able to push for damage, but sometimes you do need a little bit, so it just depends. But usually if you're summoning off Alamiris, you're probably winning. So some people are on 2. I've only needed 1. A lot of people are going for the board where you end on like Sarah, Pingacola, and then a Redoer. I'd made that board once and it was pretty good, but I still prefer going Rafflesia on my first turn because I still think that Nib is really scary. I don't want to lose to it. That was how I lost to Cam Neal when he was on Dragon Link, because I was too greedy and I didn't make Rafflesia, and I ended up getting nibbed in game 2. And when I should just made Rafflesia, I would have been in a great spot. So I still think 1 is the right choice. You shouldn't really need to resolve it twice. It's a good card, but you shouldn't need it twice. So play 1 Redoer. This card's pretty much standard in every list. It's good for your combos. For the YCS, I was still on the Spriggan's Merrymaker package because I wanted to have format Zeus. The only time I made format Zeus, I got sphere moded, so it didn't come up a whole lot. What should have happened was this Baguska should have been Exciton Knight, and then these 2 should have been the Cowboy, and then what was my other card? Oh my goodness. I don't remember what my other card was gonna be, but Exciton and then something. Exciton, Cowboy. I don't remember. But yeah, I would cut these and this, and I'd play Exciton instead. Obviously, for the last card, playing Zeus as well. But the reason why is because I put in the Baguska for branded, but realistically, like, you're never hard making this game 1. And like game 2, you're just putting in so much stuff, like going first against them anyways, that you don't really need this. This was like basically just prosperity fodder the entire day. And this was fine. It's just like, if it was Exciton, it just would have been better a lot. And like taking up 2 extra X spaces, like they're gonna snipe your Zeus anyways. So like this could also be a second Zeus is like another thing it could be. But yeah, I don't think that this is really worth it at this point. If you're playing the Therion stuff on the side, it's maybe worth it because Searching Lily's good, but it doesn't seem necessary in the kind of style that I'm playing. And then yeah, obviously 1 Zeus, this card's insane, so.
All right, let's jump over to the side deck.
All right, side deck. Okay, so for the YCS, I played Cowboy. I didn't realize it was gonna be 45-minute rounds, or else there's no shot I would have played Cowboy if I knew that. I did lose in time twice, but it's not something that Cowboy would have fixed. Like, I went first game 3 both those times, and then Sarah's just so small that they were able to attack over it. There was like nothing I could do. It's just like the way that the game is. And then other one-ups, Change of Heart and Mind Control. What I think is correct is that I'm gonna cut these and I'm gonna play Barriers again because I took them out of my side for the YCS. This was fine. I mean, like, evenly, Change of Heart took Mirror Jade is what won me my game against a Despia player, but like, realistically, he should have Mirror Jade, banished his own Mirror Jade to have Recursion, and then the Change of Heart wouldn't have gotten any value anyways. This card's basically just Book of Eclipse. It did come up once where I did Mind Control, take an Arise Heart, and then make a Zeus with it, but like, I was already winning that game. I was like so far ahead. So this honestly just felt like overkill at some points. So this I'm never changing. Not while the format is what it is. Gamma Seal's so insane. So this is gonna stay how it is. 3 anti-spell. I played this over Barrier because Cash still kills you through Barrier, but they rarely can kill you through an anti-spell, and then it's also still good against like Branded Despia. And I knew, just like from talking to people, that there were a ton of people that were going to be on Dark Ruler No More because of how popular Sprite was getting, especially like the Sprite Melfi combo with like where they ended on like Herald and the Compulse, and then also their normal Sprite stuff. So this was really strong for being able to stop them from getting to Dark Ruler or from being able to break my board. So it was really good. I wouldn't change it. And then 3 Cosmic, I went ahead and played as well, and this was fine. I put it in against Sprite because it's still good to hit like Smashers and force stuff like that. I put it in going second against like other decks that I was worried about. Honestly, it wasn't amazing, but I didn't play against too much back row, so it wasn't a huge deal. And then I don't have them on me, but I did play 3 Lancias at the event as well. It was mostly for when I was going first to have another out to evenly. I was playing Judgments for a while, but I felt like the life point deduction was a little too much with how small Sarah was. They could kill me a lot easier. I might go back to Judgments, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm definitely not playing Lancia, it doesn't really do enough. Even against Cash, like it can stop a Rise Heart, but if they have enough extenders, they still get to it anyways. Or they just like have other routes to it, and it's just not as versatile as what I would like it to be. So, but Lancia was fine at the event. It did stop evenly a couple times, so it wasn't a big deal. It served its purpose, but yeah.
All right, and you made a few changes for today's stream, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So I played Book of Moons in the main over Nibs. I don't know. I don't think this card's that good. I think I played 2 Cash on stream, and yeah, this card's okay, but I just don't know if there's anything better. But I did cut it for Nib for on stream. I probably wouldn't go with this in the future though. I played the 3rd Pudica because I saw that both the list that also made day 2 at LA were playing 3 Pudica, and that's what I used to be on. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it another shot while I'm still testing the deck, figuring it out before Philly and Nats. And I brick on, like the only time I feel like I lose with this deck is when I brick on 4 monsters. Like that last game against Tyler, like I had 4 monsters and then top deck droll. It was like, if this was just like a trap, I'm in such a better position. So I put barriers back in my side. I didn't play them for the event. I didn't miss them at the event, but this card is just, it's so good against Despia that I think it's worth playing. Especially at our locals when there's quite a bit of Despia, especially people are still trying to puppet you and everything. What I might honestly do, somebody said this at the YCS, I think it's super smart. I might cut these and play Super Organism, whatever that card is. The one that's a continuous trap and it says that they can't summon level like 7 or 8 or higher monsters. It's really good because when they puppet you, you still side it in for going second. So they puppet you pass, you just set that pass back to them, and then you flip the, I don't know if you can see it, but then you flip the Super Ancient Organisms, what I think it is, and then they cannot play. All they have is the puppet that they kept to you, so they can like run it over and then do a little bit of damage, and then you're free to pop off in your turn. I think that's really strong because it gives you like a really solid out to puppet, and then it's also good against like Lab and Cash, since like, or not as good against Cash, but it is good against Lab since the girls are level 8 or higher. So I think that's probably what I'll do. I just have to find them. So I played 2 Floodgate trap holes today because I did miss playing 2 at the YCS, but after playing 2 today, I think I'm gonna go back to 1. So I don't know. At the YCS, there were a couple times where I hard opened Floodgate and I was like, second one would be nice just to have both, but honestly, there's just better options. So changes that I'm making to the extra deck. Oh, this was the other card. This is the other card that I'm playing, cutting the Spriggan's package for. So Exciton, I probably make top 64 if I play this card. My round 3 against Sprite, number 1, I let him cheat and summon Romello while he was under Gigantic, so he could go into Tri-Brigade plays off of Mannequin Cat. And then number 2, I broke through most of the board, but had to banish my Spriggan's package for Prosperity to be able to get to resources. If I played Exciton Knight and I kept it in there, I could have gone Exciton Knight there and then blown up the board, and I would have been in like a super commanding position from that point. So this was my number 1 regret from the weekend. I do think pretty confidently that I would have made top 64 if I played this. And then this is a new addition. I saw that both of the other 2 players that made day 2 were on Jasmine. And even though I'm not playing the Therion stuff, this is still good for like linking up into and then getting your summon of your plant, and then you can go there. You can either go into your Adipus, or you can just get whatever your trigger is off the plant and then go into a Sarah anyways. So it's just like a generically good extender, and the card's just really nice. So I did play this tonight. I didn't make it tonight, but all of my matches except for Tyler were 2-0s, and so there wasn't really a grind game to any of them, but this seems really solid in the grind game. So
It's always better to have it than not have it.
Yeah, and then last thing that I changed is I played 3 Droll today, mostly because we have 2 or 3 Dark World players, and then I know that our Cash players are, they don't play around this as well as what other players do. So I like this. If I had opened this my game 3 against Tyler, I would have cooked him because he started terraforming, and if you roll their terraforming or their planet, usually you just win from there because they can't really extend. Unfortunately, it was my 6th card, but it is good. I think it's better than Nib, so for right now, this is gonna be my replacement for Nib in the side. So, but yeah, that's my changes.
Alrighty, well thank you so much for bringing us your day 2 Traptrix deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's deck profile. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell on the way out the door because all your support is greatly appreciated. Make sure to stay tuned. Later this week we'll have some live duels for you guys so you can actually watch this deck in action. That way maybe you can, if you want to play this deck at Philly or anytime coming up, maybe at Nationals, you can play this deck, pick it up, practice with it prior to, and be ready to rock and roll. But that's all I've got for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Nick from the Script Academy, signing it for now. Peace out.